it's gonna show how MacBook is, but still. So I had an idea for a thing. I don't remember how to use the logic controls to make it like so I can move around, so I'm gonna have to quickly hold my phone with my left hand instead. But so my idea for the ending of the song is this. And then it goes straight into a song that kind of like would go a bit more like. Just gotta find the right. Well, yeah, that's just sick by Slipknot. Basically, it'll come in like that. There's no intro or anything. Straight into it, just like the best song I can explain to kind of give this idea. Give me a second. Is. This song. I think that kind of vibe of going in from this like I guess ethereal outro to straight into it with an indie rock song could be pretty cool. I'd have to write it though, so I don't know. Wish me luck. Update from me again. So I tracked in vocals using my phone. I was just kind of riffing on something that I had that I wrote using a word generator kind of thing. I got some random words: admit, orbit, mind. I didn't get vice grip and pastimes. That was kind of like my brain filling in the gaps. Got dawn, lost, and then obviously orbit, mind, that kind of thing. And I got this. Just warning again, I had to record it with my phone and like playing it in the background so I could have the instrumental. Start to admit I'm in your orbit. Every minute you're on my mind. I can't escape the vice grip. Can't remember the past times. I follow you from dusk till dawn. If ever you feel lost, start to admit I'm in your orbit. Every minute that you're on my mind. I think it goes pretty well, personally. I'm obviously gonna have to figure out the melody a bit better, but like that definitely feels like a track that would be made by me. I mean, it's a bit happier than normal, but yeah. I'm thinking of calling the song Orbit if it weren't obvious from the fact that it says Orbit twice, but technically it says Mind twice, so, and Admit twice. It says that line, but yeah, Orbit's definitely a possible title for this. So, yeah. Today at the end of the lesson, I moved the chorus into all the places I need to put it in. The track is officially called Orbit, unless I change the lyrics, which I probably will, know me. I also want to make sure that it's known that, oh, that's not the right one. It bears no resemblance to the song by Good Kid. So I can't hold my phone there, stand my phone up. Very nice. So, we are back in the studio. I'm in a different one. Keep going to different studios every time we do this. I was in B16 earlier, which is why I was in on my last clip that I did. I forgot to do a clip in that episode, that session. Completely overhaul of sound. It's going very Royal Blood-esque, which I think will be really fun. It's definitely, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm thinking I knock out this track today. Like once I get home, I'll knock out vocals on the MD7X. But I'm definitely really enjoying this sound. I'm vibing with the idea of not using a guitar on it at all. Like I've completely just used bass. It sounds good, in my opinion. Obviously it needs mixing and stuff like that. I haven't got the project up. I will probably do another clip in a second of just showing that off, but it's going well so far. I also recreated the Royal Blood type. This is the track I was working on earlier. currently have no name for it, because this will be seen after the EP is done. The title will probably be on screen. My idea to this session is to continue adding bass, doing that kind of thing. Finding like other things that I like in this that isn't like I want to do for the songs. Right now it is very simple, just kicking. It's just drums and bass at the moment. So this isn't drum and bass, it'll go out of like a Volkswagen Golf or something, I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have right now. I want to show this out. Turn my camera over on the other side. Why did I do this with this hand? There we go. So the tone currently that I'm doing, so on the bus I have an instance of Pro Q3. I'm using the evaluation bit for it. I am going to move back down to Pro Q2, I think it is, the one behind us that I can use. On the accent as well, I'm using another Pro Q3 that's just taking out all of the low end, which is really ironic because it's a bass, and Valhalla Supermassive because it's my favourite reverb. On the actual bass itself though, because both of these are two different channels, so I just kind of haven't moved them over yet, but on the pedal wall we're just using a high drive with full boost, just to get that like distortion. And then for a guitar I'll be using this, I think it's supposed to be like a Marshall-esque panel thing. I could be wrong, but it looks like the combination like a Marshall or Fender twin reverb with a 57 kind of, I'm going to off-axis it a bit. I know I'm not pointing to it, I just realised. But that's kind of what I'm running at the moment. For drums, I'm running SSD sampler, my favourite sampler. Sounds good, always a good kit. And then just compressor and limiter, because it's not loud enough and it gets too loud if I have a compressor on. So with the preset I always use, because presets are fun and I like using them. So yeah, there you go. There's my REUPLOAD-esque track. I feel like that might be a bit much. I know on the melodies be like that kind of vibe. I'll have to refine it, but still. Okay, so been adding little vocal moments I've been recording on the phone. I'm currently recording this off of, funnily enough. But the idea is that I can get like random parts of this recorded on here, the future, and like edit it so it fits in perfectly. The future is already here. It's just not even distribution. The working title for the song is called Dark, by the way. The hand that feeds, stepping back in retribution. So far, I'm really happy with this chorus. It's very different, but I like it. Draw a conclusion down to absolution. There's no clear thing, the full solution is dark. Oh, it's dark. I say what I mean and I mean what I say. There's no use finding it any other way. It's dark. Oh, it's dark. future is already. Just for context, actually let me flip the camera again. There we are. So the way I'm getting my lyric ideas is by going to, so that one, the future is already here, it's just not even, that's from that. I also have a random word generator, which is where I got the word satisfaction from, which appears on the song. Right there. It's so funny to think that for the longest time I kept thinking, oh, all my project files have got to be like, you know, down here in layers. No, I really like how this sounds, and it's just like, it's 2 instruments, that's it, and then my voice. Which, I mean, it works, and that's all I need it to do, so why not? I really think this is going to be one of the best tracks on the EP. It definitely will be either a single or at least a promoted song from the EP, but I really like it. So I just recorded the vocals. I didn't record this part of that to show you because I did that yesterday, but here we go. I'm hiding something at the end of this song. Here it is. I'm just not going to have that part on top so I can show you. So, here we are. I don't get why the chorus is going there, but I think this is going to be a good beat. I think this is going to be a good track. I'm realising very production-wise, this is very minimal for me. I'm kind of happy about that because I always try to do like, you know, insane production on a lot of things I do, and this is just not that, but it worked. I find it hard to do that, so I'm going to take my win when I can get it. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Just put the icons on because I want to have them all there. I don't know why I do this on the video, but siren. I feel like this defense siren is going to be sounding like this idea of how to make I'm going to make a fade in at the start though, so I don't just hit you. Got 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes to re-record a verse, possibly 2, maybe the chorus, I don't know yet, but of a song called Guillotine that I worked on for the EP at home. I'll talk about that more after I come back from lunch, but yeah, this is going to be fun. Alright, back from lunch. Currently working on the booklet that I'm doing a digital on this album. This EP, because yeah, but I'm working on like the kind of my note section area for it. Like I do on most of my, I think I've done it on every release so far, but just re-recorded all of the vocals needed redoing in Guillotine. This song I really love. Like this part here. How do I move that?
I keep searching for light in the dark, for a place to hide. I always feel I'm out of time, hiding from the guillotine. I keep losing my way in the dark, never knowing how to fight. I always feel I'm losing life, hiding from the guillotine,
That song definitely is probably there weird juxtaposition. That track is definitely a song that is a bit more honest on this release. I mean, Dark, ironically, is not a dark song. It's the song itself has no meaning. I've wanted to write a song that isn't just here's my feelings for a very long time. And it sounds stupid because like I could just do it at any point, but that song definitely felt like it was the right one. Although it would be a re-released Vital song about me, so Guillotine gave us that job. It's such a random assortment of things that I've done and that I'm doing that I feel like it's going to come together and be an incredible release. Although Guillotine's been done for ages, so this song I already had on hand, that's why I pulled it back up and wanted to like refine everything. I don't feel like this is going to be the most loved song on the release at all, but it definitely is one of my favourite songs on the release, which at the moment I'm looking at reusing the name Caught in the Blur. I like that, I like the name. So it is probably going to be it. One thing I will say is every release I hate writing like a note about it kind of thing. I could just not do it, but at the same time I feel like I have to when I'm doing my booklets and stuff like that. So I feel inclined to write about things, but at the same time I'm writing this with 2 of the tracks done, for all honesty. Like I usually do, I write it midway through the album, but I'm writing it with 2 of the tracks done and then 2 of them in my head. And this one is a lot more hard to explain because it's so, like, I mentioned the fact I tried to do a more alternative sound instead of just a polished indie rock sound like I always do, like go with more the jagged, rough around the edges sound. That's not easy, or at least it's deceptively hard in my opinion. I don't know, I might be overcomplicating it, but it's hard to explain, and I'm probably going to scrap what I've written and rewrite it 100 times, but yeah. Who knows? So I don't usually record these at home. I've kind of really set my videos to just be at college, mostly because I won't lie, my room's a bit of a mess at the moment, so can't show off much here. But I decided that I wanted to reset the EP, and a couple reasons for that. Marketing it will be awful because I don't like it. I genuinely, there's only one song on this EP, which is Guillotine, so far, that I actually really like. Dark, I think it can work, it just needs a lot of work doing to it. But at the same time, there's not much that's drawing me to do that, so I'm thinking the best course of action for me right now is to just work on something different. And so right now I'm planning a reset. I'm sat on my bed currently. I won't lie. My phone, which is being is using continuity to do it through my MacBook, so I have a good mic. My phone is sat up against my pillow and my MacBook screen. So, but I'm about to put my guitar into open D add 9, and I'm just gonna write. One thing that I saw recently that I really wanted to try was just experiment. Don't go into this with any pre-existing idea. And just make music like I was a kid again. Like, some of the best times making music that I ever had was like 2021 to 2023, when I didn't actually care about what I was doing in terms of I had no expectations. I mean, technically now I have no expectations. I'm not exactly at a point in my music career where I'm sorry, my nose is running like mad. Or it feels like it, at least. But I'm not at a point where I have many expectations because I don't have that big of an audience, so not many people are going to really be like, oh, he just changed style. No, cut him. He's done. So my plan is to just play with it. It probably will end up going back to the indie sound I love, because as much as I'm going to face a lot of challenges along the way, it's stuff I know, and that's all I need. I'm going to experiment with tunings again, which is what I wanted to do beforehand. I just don't want to fall into the trap of just building songs because it's the sake of the EP, and that's what I need to do. I want to actually build stuff that I think will work. So yeah, that's my point. That explains the time-lapse prior to this. I originally edited it to actually work as a video, but now I'm time-lapsing it entirely as here's the prologue kind of thing that I did. Here's the actual thing. Everything after this point in the video is actually staying. So yeah. I will update on Monday when I'm back at college. But yeah. Okay, I'm recording this off my Pixel instead of my iPhone real quick, just so I can record this, because I haven't actually got my iPhone with me today. So, working on a different song. This one's called Shame. I won't lie, it is very inspired by that track right there. Massive shout out to Sean, who's the vocalist of Spaced, and also someone I used to work with. This song's pretty cool stuff. Well, that worked, didn't it, me? 1 minute. It's very, standard me vibe. Just working on vocals. Got my MV7X, as always. This weird SE Electronics, vocal thing. Yeah. So I can actually spin the camera. And I have my hair up, which is different. I decided to do the standing up one because my chorus vocals were done sat down. So yeah. Okay. Vocals are tracked in. Song is titled. Time to record vocals for the other songs. So I need to do Thoughtless, which is the open F song that I did in 6/8 or 3/4 or something along those lines. My hair is a goddamn mess. And then I also need to do. Well, I need to figure out another song, but other than that, I mean, to be fair, 3 tracks ain't too bad, but I think I probably have another song I can throw in there. I'll probably put a version downfall or something on there. I don't know. So I forgot to record most. Well, actually, that's a lie. I didn't forget to record most of the sessions. It's just that most of the sessions I was recording vocals, so I kind of did an overarching thing. So this week, I'm ending it on the 21st of January. Well, I'm not ending it on the 21st of January. I do studio updates on Wednesdays because officially in college I finished this today. I just go in tomorrow for the sake of it. But this week I got vocal. In fact, the EP is done. Officially, it's done. I'm working on marketing side of things for the rest of this project. I really want to work on a music video for What a Shame, which is one of the tracks. It is probably my favourite song on there, or Guillotine. I might do Guillotine. If I can't get a video done for him, I will do visualizers of every single song. But this time, do it with like video kind of things that I'm doing. Me and Sky do walk around quite a bit, so we could probably get some done in town or something. I am thinking about doing a 4th track, but I'm not prioritizing it because I don't need to. I've got something that I could do, but who knows yet. But yeah, that is week 3 of production, and I've already finished the EP. In fact, right now I'm writing up the Bandcamp thing. As of right now, I've got Caught in the Blur. It's the 3rd EP from British singer-songwriter Light Bloom, following the release of his 2025 studio album Lost in the Woods. The EP leads into the indie pop and alternative sound that was surface scratched on the former release, while drawing heavy inspiration from the likes of REUPLOAD, Friday Pilots Club in Space, which, by the way, I know the vocalist of personally. Light Bloom channeled and honed in what he had learned from the previous releases to combine his unique blend of emotive lyrics and minimal production to create a raw, intimate feel that echoes through the rest of the release. I also plan to... So I'm mastering it all Friday. I'm going to master it all on Friday. So that I can put it into distribution. So it's up there, ready to go. This would be the first EP and release in general that I use Rock Nation for, which is the distribution service owned by Jay-Z. It's kind of strange to think that I'm using a hip-hop based distributor to release this, but it will inevitably be for my own benefit, as my previous distributor, Root Note, messed me over through the Lost in the Woods session release, because they took until about 2 weeks before the actual album released, and then way after Downfall, the single, released, to put the single out, and the album almost didn't come out on the day it was supposed to. So that's fun. But yeah, I shall update when I next can. Update again. Hello. So the EP got announced. I feel like by this point in the documentary, it's kind of pointless having it up here, but there you go. That's the EP cover. The EP is called Caught in the Blur. I have 3 songs on it called Ghost.
Struggle to write these words on this page, watching life pass as my ages start to fade, hoping for an idea but it won't come. Nothing I do seems to get.
What a shame.
It's all the same. I don't know who to blame. Out of sight, out of fame. It's such a shame.
Guillotine.
Searching for a light in the dark, for a place for me to hide. I always feel I'm out of time, hiding from the guillotine. I keep losing my way in the dark, never knowing how to fight. I always feel I'm losing life, hiding from the guillotine, from the guillotine.
I've just mastered the songs, which, saying this out loud is going to sound so stupid, but the way I do it is I master it on my MacBook. As in, just the speakers, because the way I like to look at it is if it sounds good coming out of this, it's going to sound good coming out of my monitors, it's going to sound good coming out of my Technics that I run as my bed speakers. I genuinely have, for my TV, I run old hi-fis. It'll sound good coming out of a phone for the most part. I mean, a phone is always determined on which phone you're getting, so it should sound good in the car. Like, I mastered piece of me mostly off of my speakers in the end. All the mixing was done anyways over while I was working because I mixed as I go. But hope, but yeah, no, I was about to say hopefully I can get all the visualizers done, which shouldn't be too hard. I chose the first single, which will be What a Shame. Well, the first single is the only single from the EP. What a Shame's gonna be the single because I really like that song. I really think it's gonna like it'll have a grip on people. I'm gonna throw it through to Beauty Introducing. That's gonna be fun. I would love for this to be the first time that I get signed. I don't think it will be. I'm currently working on the Bandcamp page, which looks like this because honestly, like page design for me is really difficult. I also updated my website, which now has the thing on it. I will say, because I'm recording this as a video part of it on my laptop, and then relying very heavily on my editing, which I edit to me. It feels weird just saying like, oh, and here's my website because you know it will be on screen. It's just not on screen for me. What else is there? One of the first things that happened for the release of the announcement was a friend of mine put it on their story. So shout out Skylar. Yeah. But yeah, it's a go, this is. So got palm my phone. Shouldn't have done that. But yeah. Corner Blur, March 24th. My reason for releasing it outside the allotted assignment time was I was always going to release it in March. I didn't have any other plans because I knew that like going into this I was literally I'll get it done pretty damn quick, but like I still wanted the time to like really hone in everything, and I feel like I got that done. So like going through the EP, just mixing and mastering it, listening to it back, genuinely some of the best work I've done in a long time. Well, not I say a long time. I loved the last record as well, but definitely feels like a worthy successor to Lost in the Woods. But yeah, that it's a go, and that's pretty much it. I shall update like when I'm working on something different in terms of like different side of things. Hopefully sometime next week I can get on with doing some visualizers. But might take the rest of the week off to kind of chill out because musically I have nothing really to do. But yeah, that's all. Okay, so since we last left off, apologize for my hair being a bit greasy. But since we last left off, I finished all the vocals for all of the songs, and as of Friday, today is Sunday by the way, so 2 days ago, the songs are in distribution. As of yesterday, the songs are on Spotify in terms of like getting ready to release, and so I'm now just waiting. My idea for what we're gonna do for promotion for this, I have a couple things already put in place. I have a poster idea, which will be pretty cool. I'll show it off in a second. In fact, it'll be on screen probably, but I have a poster idea which I think would look really sick. I have like I have a load of different ideas I think will work out really well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Right now I'm currently planning out a music video for Guillotine, which isn't even the single, it's the last song on the EP, but I really want to do a video for it, so that should be fun. So, this isn't the end of the project, I will say that. There are... Oh, no, let's not do that. There's like 3 weeks left, but because of the fact that I've finished musically what I want to do, and it's now currently just kind of working on like the marketing and stuff like that, I really want to just kind of sit down in some capacity and just talk through like some of the process and some of the things that had to change throughout the entire project, and kind of constraints and stuff that I've had to kind of work with. So yeah, here we are. Number 1, isn't even a musical issue, it was the video issue. So I was recording everything off of my old iPhone, my iPhone 12, and the audio just didn't work for some of it. So part of the first, like, I guess, incarnation of Caught in the Blur kind of got messed up due to audio issues. I don't really think there's a way for me to fix that other than just re-recording the audio, but because of the fact of I don't remember what I'm saying in it, because I record them, I record them in the moment, and so, you know, it's not like I can just kind of grab the song and, or grab the video and be like, oh, okay, that's what I was doing, got it. It was more of a case of, okay, well, I've got to work with what I've got still, so, yeah. So that's why I ended up just doing, like, random clips from that probably don't show much in terms of actual process, but instead kind of give a more, like, they just kind of show what I'm doing kind of thing, which is what I wanted to do anyways, because one of my favourite documentaries for music in general is The Making of Disguise by Motionless in White, and that's less about the process and more just how fun it was making the record, and that's an incredible video. Like, it shows me more about the album than any like breakdown ever could, because you get to see what the creative process was like. Number 2 was the obvious change in sound. So originally I started it out very bass heavy, very like Royal Blood-esque, and I realised that was not going to work out for me because my brain just didn't like how it sounded. So I ended up switching gears and made a more indie focused EP, not album. I would go with the album right now, and it's not an album. A more indie focused EP, but also kind of leaning more to my softer side of things that I've done over the last few years. With one of my favourite songs on the entire thing. In fact, my favourite song on the EP, not even the single, but Guillotine, being literally just piano and, like, that's about it really, piano and shaker and my vocals, because that's all it needed. Another thing that I really liked because of this was that because I went more simple with it, it lent to me kind of like giving each element more like time to shine, and kind of, you know, instead of just focusing on layers, because that is not a good way to work at all. It kind of ruined my process for ages. Other than that, the constraint of having not enough time wasn't a thing for me, because I got it done really quickly, which on some capacity could be seen as a negative, and I understand that, but at the same time, what I really wanted to do was get the EP done. Like, I didn't want to spend weeks and weeks on it, because last time I did that was my last full length, and I became paralyzed in a sort of figurative sense as to what to do next, because I was just like, well, I need it to sound perfect, I need it to be this polished. In the end, honestly, I started work on a second project afterwards, which isn't to do with this assignment. I might show off some of the stuff in general to to people during the process. I mean, I've showed off one of the songs, but like, this is a very different project, and so I just, as in like the second project I'm doing inside this project kind of thing. Very different sound. In fact, I was using for the only songs that have been done right now, the 3 tracks that are finished, I'm using pretty much nothing but a nylon string guitar, and that's very different for me. I always use my Telecaster or a Telecaster or a Strat or whatever guitar I have on hand. I always use one of them. Finally, one of the things I want to bring up is the lack of kind of stuff in this documentary. I realize that, like, on an evidence level, it doesn't feel very full, and even I agree on that one, but at the same time, I have to work with what I've got at this point because I have to salvage so much of the, like, footage. I do really hate the fact that that's the case, but it was unfortunately what happened. But on the whole, it was like, there's nothing I can do, genuinely. Like, I mean, again, as I said at the start of this, I could go back and re-record the voice over it all, but then it would look like I'm talking but not saying exactly what I was saying, and I can't understand I can't lip read very well, at least not from what I was talking about, since I talk about such random things while I'm doing these, so the tangents would be really hard to go on. The best thing I can do is focus on the fact of not doing that again, as in using that phone to record everything. Come my next assignment, the group assignment, I should have my new phone that I'm running, so the Pixel will become my main camera phone, and so yeah. Other than that, I think that's everything. So bear in mind, it is the 26th of January. The assignment ends on the 27th of February. I'm going to spend the next month basically editing everything together, putting together a couple of lyric videos, hopefully getting a music video recorded with Sky, which should be fun. And yeah, working on a project that I've been wanting to do for ages. There is a clip before this that will say this, but I want to say it again. The EP itself drops March 24th. The first single will release February 17th, which is What a Shame. The EP is called Caught on a Blur. There's 3 songs, Ghost, What a Shame, and Guillotine. There'll hopefully be a music video for Guillotine. I can't promise it though. Yeah, that's pretty much everything.
I keep searching for a light in the dark, for a place for me to hide. I always feel I'm out of time, hiding from the guillotine. I keep losing my way in the dark, never knowing how to fight. I always feel I'm losing life, hiding from the guillotine, desperately clawing at every straw. Hoping that I won't start to withdraw. Waiting for someone to set me free. Cause this mirror and I can't seem to just agree. I keep searching for a light in the dark, for a place for me to hide. I always feel I'm out of time, hiding from the guillotine. I keep losing